Hi, this is Adam Bellow. I'm chief editor of Liberty Island Media and Magazine, and I am here today with Todd Seavey, my colleague and friend.
Hi there.
So let me begin by saying that Todd and I are old friends from the sort of right-wing underground, the libertarian conservative counterculture conspiracy in New York City. I would like to invite you to talk a little bit about what you do, just to let people get acquainted with you a little bit.
Sure. I'm a writer, editor, sometimes ghost writer, an occasional TV producer, usually for libertarian projects, and sometimes for what might be called skeptical projects, debunking unscientific claims. But along the way, I've also written a few comic book stories. Specifically for DC Comics, featuring the Justice League, the team that has Batman and Superman in it, and I've always been something of a comics fan. So I'll be the comics editor at Liberty Island. I also wrote a short story, a non-comics story, called No Future, about time-traveling punk rockers from the 21st century who find themselves in the odd position of having to rescue humanity from totalitarianism by preventing the assassination of Ronald Reagan.
We think of punk rock in Western societies as as something that rejected the values of capitalism and traditional social and American values, and yet transposed to a totalitarian society. These kinds of bands, whether it's a punk rock band like Pussy Riot in the Soviet Union or in Russia today, there's a heavy metal band in Castro's Cuba, which also seems to be an expression of values of individualism and self-expression. How does that work? How does a phenomenon like heavy metal or punk rock come to be the bearer of a message of freedom?
Well, I think, I mean, we probably all agree youth is naturally rebellious and libidinous, and punk and rock and roll in general is not so much left-wing or right-wing as rejecting whatever the establishment is and trying to prove itself capable of individualism and freedom across the board. And there's no denying that punk historically has been strongly associated with the left, and I realize a lot of punks are left anarchists or vegans or other sort of liberal and left radicals. I'm not pretending that that isn't the case. So there is some irony in the short story with punks finding themselves trying to save Ronald Reagan. However, I would like to think that if punks and rock bands in places like Cuba, Russia, even Iran see the state as oppressive, maybe our own punks someday will wake up to the fact that the state is more oppressive to them than, say, advertising is.